Well, downtown Franklin is home to many festivals, art shows, and even walking tours, but it also has a darker side that one local man is tapped into. Joshua Maxwell has the story.
This year marks the 150th anniversary of the Civil War Battle of Franklin, and a lot of historians agree that this was one of the most gruesome 5 hours in all of the war. And when you visit Franklin, Tennessee today, you'll probably hear a lot of stories, some normal and some paranormal.
There's a lot of stories and tales of all this, paranormal activity that happens here, but I personally had never seen anything until a little while ago. I bought a house actually a block and a half, 2 blocks from here, and after a little while, all this activity started to take place.
Paranormal activity is Austin's specialty. Whether or not you believe photos like these are signs of the afterlife, Franklin native Austin Cook seems to have made contact, prompting a new show that he hosts on the Sci-Fi Channel. But how does Austin get a paranormal response?
What I try to do is just sit in a room and be patient, spend all night there. A lot of the questions that I ask usually have to do with the history of the specific person I'm coming into contact with. It could be something that's emotionally stimulating to this particular person or not. When I was at the Cherry Manor house across the street over here, I kept continuously asking, do you want us to leave? Do you want us out of here? Do you want to just be left alone? And as soon as we left the room, we left a recorder set up in the room, all this activity started happening in this room. We heard voices, everything.
But that's not the only house in Franklin that's seen its share of excitement. The Many-Galt Shuff House was built in 1828. And during the Civil War, Sarah Sally Galt was a spy for the Confederate Army. And some say she's still around.
This was my office later. Okay. And it seems like that things that would fall off the mantle, the mirror was frequently moved around. Okay. And then finally one day I came in and the mirror was actually off the wall and on my desk.
And with the Civil War anniversary upon us, Austin thought it'd be a good time to sit and ask some questions.
Sally, are you up here? What did the Union soldiers tell you? Mr. Shuff told us that there's an access point and a trap door, if you will, to the roof that was used by Sally during the Confederate. There's someone coming up here.
And whether or not you believe in things that go bump in the night, Austin thinks that most of the paranormal just want to be left alone.
All right, guys, this is a subject that is right up my alley. Check it out.
How do you solve a crime committed by a killer who's been dead for centuries?
She's been ripped open, tortured, slaughtered, almost skinned down to the bone.
What you did to those people was unbelievable! Stop playing games and get out here! Show me how powerful you are.
No way.
Is this what you want?
Oh my God. I told you, yes, Sci-Fi has a new show coming soon called Killer Contact, and we have a supernatural expert, Austin Cook, with us this morning. Very cool.
Yes, it is.
And that show looks great.
I'm excited. Good morning. Good morning. It's a little early.
It is early.
It is early.
I do it
That
every
won't
day.
people.
We're like ghosts.
Lots of coffee.
That's awesome.
All right, so tell us a little bit about this series. Looks awesome.
Yeah, well, we basically go to the stomping grounds of some of the most notoriously evil people in history, and we try to find answers using the paranormal. So, it's a lot of history, it's a lot of mystery, and it's a lot of paranormal.
Now, what are you looking for when you go on these investigations?
Well, we get called and contacted by witnesses that have their own experiences, and they are convinced that their experiences are tied and linked to the tragic events that took place in these specific locations centuries ago. And so we're taking their experiences and tying them in with our experiences that we have in those locations and trying to see if we can come up with answers. Like, for instance, who was Jack the Ripper? A lot of people don't realize that he was
He's
never
still
caught.
unknown, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was never caught. Well, until December 4th on Sci-Fi.
Oh,
You
that's
caught
right
Jack
on
the
the
There you go. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So maybe you can help us out sometime with your criminal minds background.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, wrong guy. Wrong guy.
It's not you.
No, it's not me.
All
It
right,
goes
sorry
to
about
Charles
that.
Pass. It's okay. It's all right. So, but how do you get started in that? What's your background? You're from Tennessee, right?
From Franklin. There's a lot of paranormal that supposedly goes around there. I didn't believe in it, honestly, until I had my own experience. I thought it was all hocus pocus, and until about 10 years ago, I experienced something, and then it just rocked my world.
What was your first experience?
Yeah, I
what
want
this
to
is.
know.
Well, my grandfather had bought this house that was a Civil War hospital. We grew up staying in it, and again, never experienced anything, and so I didn't believe in anything. And so I bought this house right in downtown Franklin, and after a couple months of living there, I know it sounds crazy, but I saw a little boy in my house multiple times, and I lived there alone. And I mean, it was just unexplainable. And so ever since that time, I became obsessed.
Scariest like investigation you did?
I would have to say Jack the Ripper, just because, I mean, even just being in the location, just knowing how malicious he was and everything. I mean, just the overall ambiance of Hunyad Castle where we were, it's just horrifying. But then the things that actually happened while we were there, it's chilling.
Now you guys look for physical hard evidence, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if it's not caught on film or on recorders or whatever, we just throw it out. It doesn't even mean anything to us. So
That's exciting.
yeah, it's crazy.
And how do you get the team together? I mean, everybody has their own specialties, or is it just?
Well, yeah. Basically, there's a journalist, there's a person who kind of role plays, there's an antagonizer, and there's a tech guy, and then I'm the team leader.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's
yeah.
fun.
So it's kind of the all-stars of the paranormal world came together and made this show.
That is awesome. Now again, when does it start running on Sci-Fi?
December 4th,
So the first one is the Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper is the first episode, 10/9 Central on Sci-Fi.
All right, and so you guys focus on one particular like character each episode, or are there multiple ones?
Each episode, we're going for one specific case.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Austin, thank you so
Congratulations,
much
yeah.
for
Thanks,
coming in.
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna go watch that.
Yes.
That looks awesome. Again, Killer Contact premieres December 4th on Sci-Fi, and the Daily Buzz. We'll be right back.